Did anyone ever tell you that life after 80 often feels like survival, not living? Few speak it, but here's the hard truth. Aging doesn't always unfold with serenity and wisdom. Sometimes it arrives with fragile legs, fading memories, and burdens you never expected. You've endured, built, loved. Yet once you cross into your 80s, life shifts in silent, profound ways. You may still see yourself in the mirror, but your strength, independence, and clarity begin to fray like a well-worn tapestry. What no brochure tells you is that this stage challenges you not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, even spiritually. This isn't fear, it's clarity. It's naming the unspoken experiences so many seniors face. In this video, we'll navigate 7 honest truths about aging beyond 80, equipping you to meet them with dignity, choice, and resilience. Preparedness isn't pessimism, it's empowerment. By your 80s, the phone rarely rings, not because love has died, but because loved ones often have. Loneliness creeps in as families drift away and friends pass on, an invisible ache many seniors endure. As we move through truths like physical fragility, memory lapses, reliance on help, emotional hurdles, financial strain, and loss of purpose, we'll also spotlight resilience. Superagers in their 80s defy expectations. They stay active, curious, socially connected, and mentally sharp through lifelong learning and grit. This isn't about fear, it's about readiness. Because when you know what lies ahead, you reclaim control. Even in your 80s, life can be rich, purposeful, and powerful if you choose to meet it head on. Let's begin. Reality 1: the disappearing circle of people. By the time you reach 80, your phone stops ringing as often. Not because people don't care, but because many simply aren't here anymore. Friends pass on, neighbors move into assisted living, family members grow increasingly busy. This isn't just loss, it's absence, a subtle, creeping void. You miss that Tuesday lunch, that Sunday chat after church, and the ache isn't replaced. People your own age fade away, and younger voices don't carry the same weight. This shrinking circle doesn't just change your calendar, it dims your spirit. Loneliness becomes more than solitude, it feels like invisibility. Imagine waking up and realizing fewer people know your story, fewer remember you in your prime, fewer will notice if you don't show up. That sense of self, the core of who you are, can begin to slip. You may start asking, do I still matter? Would anyone even care if I stayed in bed all day? This is a hard truth of life after 80. Relationships thin and roles shift. Yet acknowledging this reality is the first step toward reclaiming agency. There is hope. Even now, you hold the power to cultivate connection. Many seniors find solace and purpose through volunteering, not just to stay useful, but to feel seen again. Whether making weekly phone calls, delivering meals, or mentoring youth, these interactions can revive your spirit. Chatting with the same cashier, joining a library book club, striking up conversations at community centers. Each small interaction weaves new threads into your social fabric. It's not about recreating what's lost, it's about ensuring you're not drifting alone. Studies show that 1 in 3 seniors experiences chronic loneliness, a condition linked to memory decline, poor health, anxiety, even shorter lifespans. Social isolation is a silent danger, but meaningful contact, like volunteering just 2 hours a week, can reverse those effects, boosting physical health and emotional resilience. Reality 2: the body's subtle rebellion. After age 80, your body doesn't just show its age, it begins to negotiate. One morning your knees feel fine, the next, each step stirs an ache. It's not the dramatic decline, it's the quiet shift. Stiffness that wasn't there last week, vanished appetite, naps that feel essential rather than restful. Most people expect gradual decline, but what takes them by surprise is inconsistency. Sleep eludes you for 3 nights, then returns. Digestion, once reliable, now rebels against lifelong diets. Your body seems to change the rules without warning, and that unpredictability can feel like betrayal. You wonder, is this my new normal or a glitch? Should I consult a doctor or simply adapt? That uncertainty day after day weighs heavily. It's more than physical discomfort, it's emotional. On the surface, you're still walking, joking, handling chores, but beneath the calm lies effort. Planning errands around stronger hours, avoiding foods that trigger heartburn, sitting not from fatigue but because standing makes your legs tremble, and it doesn't follow a pattern. Feel fit one day, frail the next. Hope surges and then slips away. But it's not weakness, it's your body working harder to maintain baseline function. You're still you, but you must now listen more closely, move with care, and rest more often. Science reveals why this happens. After age 80, muscles weaken, bones lose density, joints stiffen, and immune inflammation becomes chronic, what experts call inflammation. Circulation slows, joints ache, metabolism flattens, sleep cycles shift. Here's the empowering part. Small routines empower resilience. Start each morning with a warm glass of water. It helps circulation, kickstarts digestion, and hydrates gently. Gentle stretching before bed or after rising eases stiffness and preserves flexibility. Short bursts of sunlight, 10 minutes daily, boost mood, vitamin D, and circadian rhythm. Hydrotherapy, walking in warm water or gentle aquatic exercise can ease joint pressure, reduce pain, improve balance, and even lift your spirits. These aren't rigid prescriptions. They're simple reminders that you and your body are a team. Every mindful sip, every stretch, every step in water says, "I'm with you." This is the quiet strength of aging, not in resisting change, but moving with it. So you feel inconsistent, yes, but that doesn't mean you surrender. You adjust, you align, and in that alignment lies power. If you're finding these insights helpful, leave a comment with 2 below. And if you're new here, consider subscribing and enabling notifications so we can continue offering support, ideas, and encouragement for living with dignity, even as life's rules shift. Now, let's move forward together. Reality 3. The shrinking circle of people after 80. One of the hardest truths is this. Your circle begins to shrink, sometimes gradually, other times overnight. Friends you called weekly stop answering. Neighbors you shared morning coffee with move away or pass on. Even family once so attentive grows distant as they juggle work, kids, grandkids, health concerns. It's not about lack of love, it's life's evolving rhythms. Phones ring less, visits are shorter, time together shrinks. You might excuse it. They're just busy. But eventually, weeks turn into months. Birthdays pass with only a brief text. Holidays feel quieter. You replay old conversations because new ones are harder to come by. Hearing loss, reduced mobility, fatigue, simple physical barriers make gatherings hard. Driving at night or staying out late seems daunting. Getting dressed feels like climbing a mountain. So, even when invited, you might pause and finally decline. But each no wraps another layer of invisibility around you. This isn't paranoia, it's reality. The less you connect, the more invisible you feel, and the easier it becomes for others to overlook you. It's not intentional, but it's painful. As one 84-year-old woman shared, the loneliest moment wasn't being physically alone. It was knowing no one was expecting her call or showing up when she missed an event. Research confirms this struggle. 1/3 of seniors report frequent loneliness. Social isolation now rivals smoking and obesity in its impact on health. The WHO links loneliness to anxiety, dementia, depression, even early death. and notes that close relationships are far more impactful than simple busyness. But here's the vital truth: a smaller circle does not mean a diminished life. You don't need a crowd, just one or two deep connections to anchor you. Reach out, even if it feels awkward. Write a letter instead of waiting for a call. Say yes to that neighbor's invite, even when quiet at home seems safer. These small acts are powerful tools to nurture connection. Join a storytelling group or seniors club. Sharing experiences ignites belonging. Volunteer or mentor. Giving back creates bonds and reminds you of your purpose. Learn basic tech to video chat. Join forums, even connect via VR for remote contact that matters. Start a regular meetup, coffee mornings, library clubs, church chats. Your experience, your wisdom, that still matters. Even if voices around you quiet, yours remains meaningful. Your stories can anchor others, family, friends, neighbors, young people. Your connections don't have to be many, just meaningful, sustained, and intentional. A smaller circle? Yes, but a valued circle? Absolutely. Aging doesn't lessen your worth, but it does ask that you stay visible, present, and deliberate in connection. Your circle may be smaller, but your impact is immeasurable. Reality 4, the burden of outliving others. There's a quiet kind of pain that comes with outliving the people you love. And after 80, this becomes more than just a possibility. It becomes a pattern. You don't just say goodbye to one person. You say goodbye again and again to friends who knew your childhood, to siblings who shared your parents, even to your own spouse, the one you thought you'd grow old with forever. It's not just loss, it's the sheer weight of carrying all those memories alone. You find yourself the last one remembering a funny moment from 1963, the only one who still knows the story behind the dent in the garage door. There's no one left to say, "Remember when?" and have them nod with that same knowing smile. This kind of loneliness is different. It's not just about having no one to talk to. It's about realizing that no one else remembers your life the way you do, that no one else has your history, that the cast of characters in your story has thinned and you're left on stage with fewer familiar faces in the audience. You might also feel a kind of guilt, not the kind tied to wrongdoing, but survivor's guilt. You start wondering why you're still here when others aren't. You replay decisions. Think about missed calls. You carry questions you can't answer, and that grief, it doesn't fade, it just changes shape. One man named Robert, 87, said the hardest part of aging wasn't his aching knees or his blurry vision. It was the mornings when he reached for the second coffee mug out of habit, or the way he sometimes heard his wife's voice in his head, answering a question he never asked aloud. But there's something we don't talk about enough. There's strength in being the one who remembers. There's courage in waking up to a quieter house and still choosing to get out of bed. There's beauty in telling the stories of those who are gone, in keeping their legacy alive through your own voice. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Reality 5, the shrinking of personal freedom. After 80, something strange starts to happen. Even if you're still sharp, still capable, and still independent, people begin to treat you like you're not. Your freedom, little by little, starts to shrink. It begins with small things. Maybe your children insist on driving you everywhere, even when you know you're perfectly fine behind the wheel. Or they start questioning what you eat, when you sleep, how you take your pills. It's not that they don't love you, it's that their worry makes them overstep. And suddenly, you're not the one making the final call. You're being advised, guided, or gently pushed. This is when frustration creeps in. You know your own limits. You've earned the right to choose what matters. But the world around you starts deciding for you, as if old age cancels out a lifetime of judgment and self-control. You may even feel invisible in conversations, as if your preferences don't weigh as much as they used to. One woman named Joyce, 84, shared how her daughter started organizing every part of her day, from morning walks to what shows she watched. It came from love, but it made her feel like a child. Joyce said she felt like her independence was being slowly erased, not because she couldn't function, but because others assumed she couldn't. This is one of the quiet battles of aging, the struggle to hold on to your agency in a world that means well, but doesn't always listen. It's not about being stubborn, it's about dignity, about still having a say, about being asked, not told. But here's the part that matters. Setting boundaries at this stage isn't selfish, it's necessary. You can say, "I appreciate your help, but let me handle this." You can express when something doesn't sit right. The people who love you might be surprised at first, but over time, they'll learn to respect it. Because the truth is, the more you protect your independence, the longer you stay connected to the world in a way that matters. Choices, what to eat, who to visit, how to spend your time aren't just preferences, they're expressions of your identity. And no matter how old you are, your identity deserves space. Reality 6, the emotional cost of outliving others. One of the hardest things that comes after 80 isn't physical pain, it's emotional loss. You start to notice that the people who once filled your days, your phone calls, your holidays, begin to disappear. Old friends pass, siblings fade, sometimes even a spouse. And what's left behind isn't just sadness. It's a strange quietness that settles into your routines. Grief at this age doesn't always come in waves like it used to. It comes in stillness. You wake up and realize there's no one to call about a memory from 40 years ago. No one who really remembers you from your 20s. No one who understands the inside jokes the way you used to laugh back then. That kind of loneliness isn't loud. It's just always there in the background, like an old radio humming softly. For many, this leads to a sense of being unanchored, like you're floating in a world that keeps moving forward, while pieces of your past quietly vanish. And no one teaches you how to mourn that. No one prepares you for how much strength it takes just to keep showing up, smiling, eating, engaging, while carrying all that invisible weight. I remember a man named Charles, 87, who said, "I've been to more funerals in the last 5 years than I can count, and every time a little piece of my life goes with him." That's a feeling a lot of people carry. They don't talk about it, not because they don't feel it, but because it's become a part of life. And yet, here's what keeps many people grounded: the decision to keep opening up to new people, even with the risk of more goodbyes, to keep finding reasons to laugh, to celebrate, to invite someone over for coffee, even if they're 30 years younger, because staying connected isn't just a way to pass time, it's a way to stay alive on the inside. So if you're going through this right now, don't be ashamed of the sadness. Don't pretend it's not heavy. Just know that there's still space for joy, even if it comes in new forms with new faces. Let the grief walk beside you, not stop you. That's how you keep going. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Reality 7, facing your own fragility with grace. After 80, one of the most humbling things you'll come to terms with is your own fragility, not just in your bones or muscles, but in everyday things you used to take for granted. Tying your shoes, getting out of a low chair, holding a cup steady. It's not that you feel old every moment. It's that every small stumble, every minor ache reminds you that the body has limits now that weren't there before. And that realization, if you let it, can shake your confidence. It can make you second-guess going for walks alone, traveling, even cooking a meal. You begin to plan your day based not on what you want to do, but what you can safely do. And that shift, while practical, can start to make your world feel smaller. But here's the key. Fragility is not weakness. It's wisdom in motion. It's your body telling you to move more carefully, to listen more closely. It's your life reminding you that you've been strong for so long, and now the strength is in adjusting with grace. I once met a woman named Nancy, 84, who said something I'll never forget. "I don't mind that I need a cane now. I earned it. It's a reminder that I've walked a long, meaningful road, and I'm still going." That mindset, that's everything. Because while some people try to hide their limitations or pretend they're still 60, others find strength in adapting. They use tools, they ask for help, they take their time. And in doing so, they preserve their independence longer than those who refuse to accept the truth of their body's changes. So don't fight your fragility. Learn to work with it. Strength after 80 isn't about pushing through pain or proving you can do everything on your own. It's about choosing what matters most, preserving your energy, and continuing to show up, present, grateful, and wise. What matters most is how you carry yourself through it all, with courage, dignity, and a quiet kind of strength that only those who've lived long enough can understand. Final thoughts. Getting older after 80 isn't just about dealing with the physical. It's about facing some of the hardest truths. With your head high and your heart open, you don't have to pretend it's all easy. It's not. But there's deep power in knowing these realities and choosing to meet them with wisdom, not fear. You are not a burden. You are not forgotten. You're still here, and your presence, your stories, your laughter, your stubborn spirit, it matters more than ever. So take care of your mind. Don't hide your emotions. Accept the loneliness, but don't give in to it. Stay curious. Stay open. Be honest about money, but never lose your generosity. Choose kindness. And when your body slows down, walk with pride anyway. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.